working to connect a region of over 600 million bridges between our lands.
Hello, I'm Eliana Sebastian and welcome to ASEAN in Focus. On tonight's headlines, at least 2 bombs exploded outside a prison in Myanmar's commercial hub, Yangon, on Wednesday, killing 8 people and wounding 18. The giant dome of the Jakarta Islamic Center Grand Mosque in the north of the Indonesian capital collapsed on Wednesday after a major fire broke out over several hours. The mosque was in the process of being renovated when it caught fire. Malaysia will head to the polls on November 19 after the Prime Minister called for a snap election to restore political stability. And President Ferdinand R. Marcos on Thursday paid tribute to the country's war veterans and vowed to look after their welfare as he commemorated the 78th Leyte Gulf landing in Palo Leyte. First in our news, at least 2 bombs exploded outside a prison in Myanmar's commercial hub Yangon on Wednesday, killing 8 people and wounding 18. Junta authorities said in a statement that the bombs hit a crowd queuing to drop off parcels for inmates at Insane Prison. They blamed terrorists and said the dead included 3 prison staff and a 10-year-old girl. The junta added that security forces has defused another homemade mine found nearby. One witness queuing at the parcel counter told AFP the first blast hit around 9:30 a.m. Junta spokesman did not respond to a request for comment. Amnesty International said it was extremely disturbed by reports and images emerging from the explosions at Insane Prison. No one should die delivering parcels to their loved ones. Inmates in Myanmar's jails often rely on friends or family for food and medicine supplies. The Southeast Asian nation has been in turmoil since its military coup last year, with swaths of the country engulfed by fighting. In Indonesia, the giant dome of the Jakarta Islamic Center Grand Mosque in the north of the Indonesian capital collapsed on Wednesday after a major fire broke out over several hours. Take a look. The mosque was in the process of being renovated when it caught fire, according to police, who said they have taken at least 4 workers for questioning. We have evacuated all the people from the mosque. Thank good news there is no victim from this incident, said North Jakarta Police Chief Kombes Wibowo. Firefighters were alerted about the blaze shortly after 3 p.m. local time, and at least 10 fire engines were dispatched to the scene. According to ABPLive.com, the exact cause of the fire is not yet known. As per the Gulf Today report, no one was injured in the fire or the ensuing collapse. The police are probing of the cause of the fire and have questioned contractors working in the building, the report mentioned, citing local media. Apart from the mosque, the Islamic Center complex also houses educational, commercial, and research facilities. The last fire incident that involved the mosque's dome happened during renovations 20 years ago. The October 2002 blaze took 5 hours to extinguish. Cambodia sentenced exiled opposition figure Sam Rainsy to life imprisonment on Wednesday for allegedly attempting to cede territory to a foreign entity, according to a court ruling. The cause related to the politicians' promises to protect the rights of the country's indigenous people, who continue to face discrimination mostly over land rights. A document from the Phnom Penh Municipal Court seen by AFP said Rainsy had been sentenced to life imprisonment on charges of attempting to hand over a part of national territory to a foreign entity in 2013. The court also stripped him of all political rights. It relates to a 2013 meeting between Rainsy and a leader of the U.S.-based Montagnard Foundation, which works to protect the rights of indigenous minorities in Vietnam. A video posted by an anonymous Facebook account in 2018 appeared to show him pledging to uphold the rights of Cambodia's indigenous people. Rainsy and the Montagnard Foundation's then leader, Kok Sor, also signed a document with 3 articles from the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples on Minorities Self-Determination Rights. But Cambodian authorities accused him of treachery and of attempting to give land to foreigners. Montagnard people are mostly non-Muslim ethnic minority group that lives in Vietnam's mountainous Central Highlands region. Rainsy has lived in France since 2015 to avoid jail on a number of convictions he says are politically motivated, including a 25-year sentence passed in March last year. Vice President Sara Duterte expressed hopes on Wednesday that the business sector would provide more job opportunities for grade 12 graduates during the celebration of the 48th Philippine Business Conference and Expo Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industries. In a speech, Duterte said this is crucial not only for the lives of the young graduates, but also for nation building as a whole. Take a look.
We have also just signed the first-time Job Seekers Assistance Act, joint operational guidelines with the Department of Labor and Employment. The operational guidelines is a crucial step in the implementation of RA 11261, or the First-Time Job Seekers Assistance Act. We expect more first-time job seekers, especially our K-12 graduates, to be given the opportunity to process their pre-employment requirements immediately and cost-free. I would just insert a meeting that we had with the Commission on Higher Education with the problem of the Department of Education that our grade 12 graduates are not immediately employable and they are not hired by the labor sector. And this is a comment from CHED that there is a diploma mentality in our country. Na kailangan ba graduate ng 4 years ng college ang mga ini-employ ng ating industries. And the Department of Education is already working on how to make our grades 11 to 12 ready for work and are skill ready when they graduate from the K-12 program.
The Vice President, who is also the concurrent chief of the Department of Education, or DepEd, said graduates once ready for employment may be considered valuable assets for the country's workforce. The 2022 Philippine Travel Exchange, the third one held during a pandemic, kicked off Wednesday, renewing optimism on more business and leisure travels into the country. PTEX 2022 is the largest government-led business-to-business or B2B travel trade event and is expected to generate around 50 million pesos to 60 million pesos in bookings. Take a look.
we have been engaging with our airline partners for the resumption of pre-pandemic flights, as well as for the addition of more routes domestically and internationally into the Philippines.
The vision is not only to facilitate the recovery of the tourism industry, but rather to exceed our pre-pandemic levels and for the Philippines to occupy a primary position in the ASEAN and the globe.
Latest data from the Department of Tourism show that Americans have outranked South Koreans as the Philippines' top visitors this year, hosting a total of 335,327 visitors from February 2022 to October 17. South Korea contributed a total of 240,469, while China, which was previously the country's second source market, only had 24,599 visitors in the same period. Some 132 Philippine sellers and over 100 foreign buyers participated in the event, with more than 50 present on site. France and the Philippines are set to feature arts, culture, and cuisine as they highlight the diversity of their 75-year-old relations from October to January 2023. In a presser on Tuesday, French Ambassador to the Philippines, Michelle Bocas, and Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary Jaime Victor Lera presented the lineup of activities that highlight French and Filipino collaboration, talent, and creativity in celebration of the 75th year since the establishment of diplomatic ties between the two countries. Take a look.
We decided not to do it on one year. So since the inauguration last June at the Pinto Museum with more than 600 guests and an exhibition dedicated to Filipino painters who lived in France and French who lived in the Philippines, including, by the way, also sculptures by Paul Goga and some beautiful drawings as well, with the exceptional presence of the French world champion volleyball team. We continue ever since to celebrate the 75th anniversary, both here and in France, as well as the Embassy of the Philippines. But the reason why we are here today actually is to talk to you about the upcoming events that will mark this last quarter. We will talk in a few minutes about many different areas: gastronomy, awards for alumni, exhibition, comics, cinema, economy, fashion, contemporary dance, art on the bay, digital, climate change, sustainable agriculture in the Barn region, street art, songs, photos, sports, decathlon inclusion days, circus, club.
Diplomatic relations between France and the Philippines were first established in 1947 when both countries signed the Treaty of Amity in Paris. Since then, both countries have taken significant steps to ensure a free and open Indo-Pacific area and upholding of international law, joint action in the fight against climate change, and promoting cultural exchanges between the French and Filipino people. The embassy said this year-long celebrations aims to highlight the strong and vibrant relations between the two countries, from gastronomy to art, basketball to cinema, education to dance, and everything in between. Describing the newly launched aesthetics, light, and sound show at the Juanico Bridge as an excuse to come home, President Ferdinand R. Marcos on Wednesday expressed confidence that the new attraction would boost economic activities and tourism in eastern Visayas region and nearby areas. In a speech in Santa Rita Town, Samar Province, after personally witnessing the 21-minute light and sound show, Marcos said he did not want to pass up the chance to attend the event because the Juanico Bridge holds a special place in his heart. Take a look.
Set against the picturesque Juanico Strait and the beautiful Philippine sky, the bridge has always been a sight to behold. So much so that it has garnered fame and renown as a must-see attraction for Filipinos and foreign visitors alike. With the recent completion of the Juanico Aesthetic Lighting Project, I look forward to seeing the bridge turn into a true sight to behold, not just during the day, but now even in the dark at night. I look forward to the economic opportunities that will be simulated by this, as well as other Spark Summer initiatives in the near future. I eagerly anticipate the assistance it will bring for the complete recovery of the tourism industry in the Eastern Visayas and nearby areas. Every day henceforth, this bridge will stand, as it has stood since the beginning, as a staunch reminder of the rewards awaiting our collaborative endeavors. And come nighttime, as people are mesmerized by the wonderful display put up at this scenic spot, let it exemplify how we hold the power to add value, purpose, and grace unto our nation.
President Marcos also expressed hope that the project encourages other local government units to pursue programs that will translate to significant enhancements to infrastructure and pave the way for a long-lasting impact in the lives of Filipinos. Built in August 1969 and completed in 1972 with a span of 2.162 kilometers, the bridge stood many challenges with the Super Typhoon Yolanda that ravaged Eastern Visayas on November 8, 2013. The San Juanico Bridge aesthetic lighting project was proposed to Piazza in 2015 by TAN and the DOT in Eastern Visayas or Region 8. Piazza is the funding source of the 80 million peso aesthetic light and sound project carried out by Amigo Entertainment Technologies Incorporated. The San Juanico Bridge aesthetic lighting project is the first of its kind in the country. Now to Malaysia, they will head to the polls on November 19, officials said Thursday, after the Prime Minister called for a snap election to restore political stability. Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob dissolved Parliament earlier this month and called for the vote a year ahead of schedule to shore up his slim majority in the 222-member legislature. Nomination day for candidates will be on November 5, with 97-year-old former Prime Minister Mahathir Mohamad among those expected to join the fray. Ismail's UMNO, the dominant party in the ruling Barisan National Coalition, will contest the polls head-on with its bitter rival Pakatan Harapan Alliance, led by veteran opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim. UMNO, which ruled the country over 60 years, had suffered a shock defeat amid allegations of massive corruption linked to State Fund 1MDB. Then Prime Minister Najib Razak, embroiled in the scandal involving billions of dollars allegedly pilfered from the Sovereign Wealth Fund, was ousted, charged with corruption, and convicted after a lengthy trial. In tonight's other news, Hong Kong's leader unveiled plans to resuscitate the business hub's fortunes on Wednesday, hoping to lure back international expertise after an exodus of talent. But he vowed no let-up in a political crackdown that has transformed the city. Take a look.
喺招攬人才方面，過去2年本地勞動力總人口係失去咗大約14萬人。政府除咗積極培養同埋留住本地嘅人才之外，會更進取去吸納外來人才。
Wang Li, a Beijing-anointed former security chief, gave a debut policy speech that prioritized the revival of an economy mired in recession and maintaining security while recognizing that many had left a city that serves as a gateway to China. Li's speech offered his blueprint for reversing that downturn, including a talent scouting office, a 30 billion Hong Kong dollars or 3.8 billion US dollars co-investment fund to attract overseas businesses, and rules to make it easier to hire foreigners. The city will give preferential treatment to top talent, described as people who earn 2.5 million Hong Kong dollars or more annually, and graduates from the top 100 universities around the world who have relevant work experience. Mr. Li did stress that the government would press ahead with more national security legislation and possible new rules on false information. Beijing imposed a sweeping national security law on Hong Kong in 2020 after democracy protests the year before, flipping the city's once outspoken vibe. Taiwanese tech giant Foxconn unveiled 2 more electric vehicle prototypes on Tuesday, including a pickup truck, saying commercial production on 2 other designs would start later this year. Foxconn chairman Yang Liu showed 2 more prototypes at Tuesday's media event in Taipei, a sporty hatchback dubbed the Model V and a pickup, the Model V. Take a look.
Not the same business model, for Foxconn and Tesla. Tesla is a brand, and Foxconn is a CDMS company. I hope one day we can do Tesla cars for Tesla. In terms of our ambitions, we called out for 5% in 2025. In the ICT industry, we are at about 40 to 45% of overall, market share. So ambitious-wise, hopefully we are able to achieve the same kind of achievement like in the ICT industry. But we will start small.
He also announced that commercial production would start by the end of the year on the group's previously unveiled electric bus and family sports utility vehicle. Liu said one of its clients, Taiwanese automaker LuxGen, had received 15,000 customer pre-orders in under 2 days for its N7 car, which is based on the Foxconn Model C unveiled last year. He added that various models will be put into production in Taiwan, Thailand, and the United States, while the company is also eyeing cooperation with Indonesia and India without providing details. The world's largest contract electronics maker, Foxconn, already plays a linchpin role in assembling gadgets for a host of top international brands, including Apple's iPhone. The company has moved to diversify beyond electronics assembly and embrace the competitive but rapidly expanding EV business, unveiling 3 concept cars last year. Meanwhile, it has been widely reported for years that Apple has a secret electronic car project, something Foxconn could be in an ideal place to partner on, given its existing relationship with the California-based giant. President Ferdinand R. Marcos on Thursday paid tribute to the country's war veterans and vowed to look after their welfare as he commemorated the 78th Leyte Gulf landings in Palo, Leyte. In his speech after the ceremony, President Marcos enjoined Filipinos to remember the courage and heroism demonstrated by war veterans and allied forces who offered their lives to attain peace and freedom in the country. Take a look.
Because a fellowship like ours, forged in the fires of war and sealed with the blood and sweat of our patriots and veterans, will forever bind our people's destinies and futures together. We commemorate this event, but let us remember the courage and heroism demonstrated by our war veterans, fellow Filipinos, allied forces, and for that matter, even the Japanese forces, who offered their lives in a quest to attain peace and freedom that we now enjoy. They who have fought and died in and for this land will have their names forever etched in the pages of history. For when they arrived here, they did not only bring the resolve to pursue the war to its bitter end, but they also carried with them the hopes and dreams of an entire generation for a more peaceful and harmonious world. The seeds of peace and solidarity that have been planted during that time have blossomed to nurture deep, abiding, and fruitful friendships that we now share with one another. It is truly heartwarming to see the tides turning for the better since that fateful day, with foes becoming friends and friends even becoming closer, all striving to attain peace and harmony in the global community.
I am moved to think about this historic day when 78 years ago, General Douglas MacArthur, who was born in my hometown of Little Rock, Arkansas, returned to the Philippines with Allied soldiers to join Filipino fighters who were so valiantly struggling for freedom. General MacArthur's words on his return resonate to this very day. He said, "We come, dedicated and committed." These words continue to embody the strong ties between our two nations.
We are gathered here, representatives of the major warring powers, to conclude a solemn agreement whereby peace may be restored. The issues involving divergent ideals and ideologies have been determined on the battlefields of the world.
Marcos arrived at the MacArthur Leyte Landing Memorial National Park at 9 a.m. to witness the simultaneous raising of the flags of the Philippines, Australia, Japan, United Kingdom, and the United States, and offer a wreath to the MacArthur Shrine. The Leyte Gulf landings, the largest naval battle in recorded history, was a well-planned strategy to isolate Japan's strategic position in the Pacific Ocean during the war. It was on October 20, 1944, when General Douglas MacArthur, together with President Sergio Osmeña and General Carlos P. Romulo, set foot on Philippine soil, the first after they left Corregidor in 1942. Their arrival started a battle that spanned 100,000 square miles of sea during the invasion of Leyte by the Allied forces. As my usual habit, I'd like to end the day on a positive note. Let's encourage and build each other up so that no one is left behind. From EBC Vietnam Bureau, I'm Eliana Faith Sebastian. Thank you for joining us here in ASEAN Focus. And we live in extraordinary times.